Okay, last time I was talking about color coding of carbon registers. These are the color codes. And I used a word, I used a sentence other for this one. Do you remember what was that sentence? What was the sentence to memorize it? Do you remember? For this one, BB Roy, BBROY, BB Roy, Great Britain's very good wife. BB Roy, repeat, BB Roy. Say again. BB Roy, BB Roy, ROY Roy, BB Roy, Great Britain's very good wife. BB Roy, Great Britain's very good wife. Yeah, wife. Yeah, wife. Yes, BB Roy. Yeah. Okay. Read one. Read. BB Roy. BB Roy, Great Britain's very good wife. Okay. Now they represent actually. Okay. Now they represent colors. Okay. This is blue. This is black. This is white. Black and white. This is brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, gray, and white. Same type of colors will be close by. Like red and brown are close by. Gray and white are close by. Blue and violet are close by. Blue and violet. So that way you can remember it. Okay. And how do we decode? Okay, I'll tell you. Or they may give a question as they may give a carbon resistor will be given. Carbon resistor will be given with the three bands like this. One band will be here, one band will be here, band will be here. Okay. And they suppose they are writing a red. Here it is written blue. Here it is written yellow. Three colors straps will be there. Three colors straps or bands will be there in this carbon resistor. And they will ask you what is the resistance of these carbon resistors? What is the resistance value? R. R value is how much? What is the resistance of this carbon resistor? How we find? We will use the colors out there. Okay, like this. Red. Look at the color red. Red. What is the number associated to red? 2. So first we write 2. Then blue. Blue is over here. Remember. Blue. What is the number associated with it? 6. We write 26. Into the number of the third color will come as the power of 10. The number of the third color will come as the power of 10. Yellow. Yellow. What is the value of yellow? Red. What is the number above red? What is the number above red? What is it? Right, 2 here. Blue. Where is blue? Over here, no. What is the number associated with blue? 6, right? 6 there. Into the number of the third color, number associated with the third color will come as a power of 10. Right? Into 10. Power of 10 will give. What is this color now? Yellow. What is the number associated with the yellow? 4. So write 4 over here. This much ohm we get. This much ohms. 26 into 10 to the power of 4 ohm. This is the value of resistance. Understood? Okay. And now, after that, sometimes they will write some metal. They will write. They may write here gold, or silver, or copper. Like that, they may write. If it is written gold, so we'll be writing a plus minus 5%. This is called tolerance factor. This is called tolerance factor means your answer may fluctuate by this margin. 5% here and there, 5% less or 5% more. There can be a variation. There can be variation in the value of R by 5%. If it is gold, I just write, okay, this is called tolerance factor, tolerance value. Tolerance value for gold, it is 5%. For silver, it is 10%. For copper and any other material, it is 20%. This is the value of tolerance factor. Tolerance value we have to learn by heart. Gold tolerance value is 5%, silver 10%, and anything else will be 20%. Even no color or maybe some other colors and all, like fourth one, I'm talking about the fourth one, okay. So that will be, everything will be 20%, will come under the category of 20%. They may say no color, transparent material, anything, so write 20%. 5, 10, and 20. And this is how we decode them. We write down the value of resistance according to the colors given over here. First color from the right side will begin. Red, like this we'll see. What are the colors will give the number. First two colors, number will be written as a digit. And the third color's number will come as a power of 10. Hope you understood it. Yes? This is easy only, but it may carry 2 marks like that, okay? Sometimes they may give just the opposite of this. They'll say the resistance of a carbon resistor is suppose given like this, 61000 ohm given on here, okay? And they're asking, draw diagram and mark the colors on the carbon resistor whose resistance is R is equal to 61,000 ohm. Like this they have given. This time the value of R is given, we have to find the colors. What are the colors present in them? Okay, and in which order they are present, that we have to find. First I will be writing like this, 61 into 10 to the power of 3 I will write. This much I write. 61 into 10 to the power of 3. 6. The number 6 will represent which color? Number 6 is which color here? Blue. First color I will mark a blue. 1 represents which color? Brown. This is blue out there. Next one I like a brown. And power of this 10 is how much? A 3. Right, third one here. Third color is what here? Orange. Out here I light on top orange. That is it. Finished. Just the opposite of that. And if they write down tolerance here, says out here is written 10%, plus minus 10%, then I write here silver. If they write 5%, then I write gold. If they write copper, then I write, if they write 20%, I write copper. So it may happen that they have given the value of R, resistance value is given, and they may ask you to draw the diagram and show the colors present in them. Color band, show the color bands in them, in that carbon resistor. This is how I will show the color bands in the carbon resistor. Hope you understood it. Yeah, this was easy only, but you have to remember the word I said, no, I mean the sentence. Baby Roy, Great Britain's very good wife. All right. You can easily make out how good wife she is, giving answer there, isn't it? Yeah. All right, rise up it, Okay. This is really very good wife, okay. So this topic is there. Now you can give the heading now. Next heading is Ohm's law. Okay. What is Ohm's law? I think you had done in class 10 also, but repetition of the same here. This part they may not ask you, but just to know, it states that the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across its ends. Or the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the voltage applied across it if temperature and the other physical conditions are kept constant. That means Ohm's law tells us that I is proportional to V. Then we remove this sign and we change by a equal sign by multiplying by a constant. The constant we multiply is 1 by R. Therefore, we get the formula V equal to IR. This is the formula. So this statement is not important. What is important, I will tell you, because this was lower class statement. I mean, class 9, class 10 statement. So probably they will not ask you in ISC. State Ohm's law will not come. But I told you, Ohm's law says that current is proportional to the V. V means voltage or potential difference. More the voltage, more the current. Less the voltage, less the current. Okay. And the constant out here is R. R is called what? Resistance. So the Ohm's law gives us a formula of voltage is equal to IR. This is the formula we get from Ohm's law. What is the limitation of Ohm's law? Ohm's law is valid only when temperature is constant. And Ohm's law is followed by all metals. That means all metals are the example of ohmic conductors, the conductors which obey Ohm's law. And what are non-ohmic conductors? The conductors which do not obey Ohm's law. I will not do all these things because you are done in the lower class. Now I'm coming to the next topic, resistivity. Resistivity or a specific resistance. This is also called a specific resistance, denoted by this symbol, denoted by the symbol rho. Okay. What is resistivity or a specific resistance rho? We write here since resistance of a conductor is proportional to length and resistance of a conductor is inversely proportional to the area of cross section, isn't it? We know this fact. So when we put the two proportionality signs together, we write that R is proportional to, we write L by A. To change this sign with the equal sign, we multiply by a constant, we write here rho L by A. Therefore, rho value will become RA divided by L. This rho is called where? Rho is known as resistivity of the material of the conductor. So we have the formula of, we can take the formula like this, R is equal to rho L by A or rho is equal to RA by L. Okay. Now we'll find the definition of rho, resistivity. Write down here below this, resistivity of the material, resistivity of the material of a conductor, resistivity of the material of a conductor is, resistivity of the material of a conductor is the resistance offered, by its unit length and unit cross sectional area, unit length and unit cross sectional area, unit length and unit cross sectional area, unit cross sectional area. Okay, what I mean to say, if I take area value unit means 1, L also you're taking 1, then rho and R will be equal. That's why we say resistivity is the resistance offered by unit length and unit cross sectional area. Okay. Then you write the SI unit of resistivity is the SI unit. The SI unit of resistivity is, what can be the SI unit? From this equation we can check what can be the SI unit. SI unit of resistance is ohm and area is meter square divided by meter, so it becomes ohm meter. The SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter. omega meter, that means ohm meter. We write like this. Okay, then you write resistivity. Resistivity depends on resistivity depends. Resistivity depends on the nature and the temperature. Nature and the temperature of the conductor. Depends on the nature and temperature of the conductor. Nature and the temperature of the conductor. And it does not depend on and it does not depend on and it does not depend on the length and area of cross section of the conductor. Length and area of cross section of the conductor. It does not depend on the length and area of cross section of the conductor. Okay. Yes, have you finished? Okay, thank you. Now, resistivity depends, resistance depends on four factors. Resistance depends on four factors. They are nature, length, area, and temperature. But resistivity does not depend on the length and area because you are taking unit. You are taking the fixed value of length and fixed value of area. That is unit means 1 meter and 1 meter square only you are taking. So it does not depend upon the length and area of cross section, but it depends on only the nature and temperature. If question comes like this, you have to read the question very carefully. Okay. What happens to the resistance of a wire when its length is doubled? When length is doubled, what will happen to the resistance? We say resistance also gets doubled. But if question asks you what happens to the resistivity of a wire when its length is doubled, then you say it remains the same. It does not change. Because question is talking about resistivity. Resistivity does not depend on length, on the area, even on the thickness of it will not depend. But it will depend on the nature and the temperature. Temperature the same way as the resistance depends. This also will depend in the same manner. You have to read the questions very carefully because this question had come in the past in ISC. They had given a wire has a resistivity X. What will be its new resistivity when its length is doubled? You say it remains X. The new resistivity will be equal to same value, X only. Because resistivity does not depend on the length. Hope you understood. You have to be careful and write the answer correctly. Okay, now give the next heading. I think this is something new and it is important. Okay, write down Ohm's law in vector form. Ohm's law in vector form. Derivation of Ohm's law in vector form. This topic is important, okay, for class 12 because this topic wasn't there in class 10. Ohm's law in vector form. Okay. This equation is called, J is equal to sigma E is called Ohm's law in vector form. J is equal to sigma E is called Ohm's law in vector form. So we will derive this one. Okay. What are these symbols? I'll tell you the symbols. J means current density. Sigma means here conductivity. Okay, which is reciprocal of resistivity. Reciprocal of resistance is called conductance. Conductance is equal to 1 by R. And reciprocal of resistivity is called conductivity, denoted by the symbol sigma. This symbol is read as sigma. Sigma is equal to 1 upon rho. 1 upon rho will be the value of sigma. And E out here means electric field. You please write down the meaning also, where J is equal to current density sigma is equal to conductivity and E is equal to electric field. Electric field. Okay. J is current density, sigma is conductivity, and E is electric field. Once or twice in ISC, they had given this question just for 1 mark. Write down Ohm's law in vector form. You just write down this equation, finished. Or write down the Ohm's law in vector form, mentioning the meaning of the symbols used, or giving the significance of the symbols used. Then you write like J is equal to sigma, then you have to write yourself where J is equal to current density, conductivity, electric field. Then you have to write all this. The question may carry 1 or 2 marks. But if question carries 3 marks, they will ask you derive Ohm's law in vector form. So now I am showing you the derivations, how we can derive it. To derive now, we'll start with the formula of J. J formula is I upon A. Current upon area is called current density. Last class, we had done this. If you check, we had done this one last class. We had J is equal to I upon A. I means current and A is area here. Okay. Now we'll change I is equal to Ohm's law in normal form. What is that? V by R I write. V by R into A. I value I will put V by R. And A remain as it is. Okay. Now this V, we know the formula, electric field formula, we have volt per meter. Meter means length of the conductor, E equal to V by L. Therefore, V value will become E into L. So instead of V, I write as EL from here. And R value I put in terms of resistivity, rho L by A into A over here. R value I'm putting here, rho L by A. Now I'll cancel and all. A and A will cancel, LL will cancel. We have the answer coming only E by rho. J value is coming E upon rho. That J 1 by rho reciprocal. 1 by rho is called conductivity sigma. We had sigma A. J is vector, E is also vector. Therefore, we write as J like this. Sigma electric field will be like this. J is equal to sigma E. So this is how we get this formula or Ohm's law in the vector form. This equation is called Ohm's law in vector form. So please see this one properly. This is an important topic. Okay, this is something new, and they may ask you to derive Ohm's law in vector form. So this is how we derive it. Okay. See, then I start new topic. Huh? Yeah. Hello. Hello. I'm not able to hear you. Sigma is conductivity 1 by rho. Sigma is reciprocal of resistivity. 1 upon rho will become sigma. This sigma is not the surface charge density. This sigma is not charge upon area. Okay. Charge upon area we do in static electricity. Over there, Gauss theorem we had used that one. Okay. Surface charge density of the parallel plate capacitor, parallel plate. That is different. But also in current electricity, sigma means conductivity. I have written no here. Sigma means conductivity. All right. Sigma means 1 upon rho, reciprocal of resistivity, reciprocal. So I did the reciprocal. 1 upon rho, I will be writing sigma there. All right. Any other queries? Okay, is that clear now? Okay, okay. Now, give next heading, drift velocity. Drift velocity. of electron. Next heading, drift velocity of electron denoted by V and D, VD, V with a small d out there in the subscript. VD, VD stands for drift velocity of electron. Drift velocity of electron is the heading. Okay. All right. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. First you understand, okay, and then afterward I'll give the definition of drift velocity of electron. Definitions, okay. We know if we take a conductor here, conductor will have large number of free electrons and they will also have fixed ions. I show electrons here, electrons, and fixed ions are also there, fixed ions, electrons are there, electrons, so many electrons, so many fixed ions are there. What are fixed ions? Fixed ions are the electrically charged atoms. Electrically charged atoms are called ions. They are the atoms out there. Fixed atoms are there. Okay. Because metals are having positive valency, they have less number of electrons. Okay. So positive ions are there, and electrons are also there. Free electrons are there. So many electrons are there. But do you think these electrons? Just know the electrons will be moving randomly when we don't connect with the source. That means when we don't apply any voltage, potential difference, electrons are moving in random direction, in all directions, in all possible directions they are moving. Now what we will do, we will be connecting it with a source. That means we are applying an electric field here. This is positive, this is negative. Positive and this is negative. Electric field is applied in this direction like this. Electric field always acts in the direction from positive to negative in the conductor. In the conductor, positive terminal I have taken this side, negative conductor is this side, negative terminal. So this is the direction of electric field I am showing. Okay. But when we apply the electric field, what happens? These electrons will start, because positive will be attracting the electrons in this direction. The electrons will experience a force towards the positive electrode, towards the positive terminal. That means in the direction opposite to the electric field. Electrons will be experiencing a force like this way, and will start moving in this direction like this way. They will start moving, rather they will collide with the positive attraction, return back, bound back like this. This will keep on going like this. This process will go on like this, within the conductor. And we say that the current is flowing because drifting charges are moving inside the conductor, and we say that the current is flowing. So this velocity acquired by the electron in a direction opposite to the electric field, opposite direction, towards the positive electrode is called drift velocity. Now please write down the definition. Write down definitions. Drift velocity of electron. After drawing the diagram, now please write down the definition of drift velocity of electron. Right? The average constant velocity, acquired acquired by free electrons of a conductor, in a direction opposite to the electric field, is called the drift velocity of electron. Is called the drift velocity of electrons. Is called the drift velocity of electrons. Full stop. Right on. This drift velocity has yeah, this velocity yeah this velocity has very low magnitude. This velocity has very low magnitude in the order of millimeter per second, millimeter per second, in the order of millimeter per second. That is, they have very low speed. Okay, this wave velocity value is very, very low, but such a velocity is called drift velocity. Hope you understood the concept of drift velocity. What is drift velocity? If not, you can ask for clarification if you have doubts and all in your mind. You can interact. Is it all right? Okay, very good. Good. Okay, thank you. Now write down below that relationship. Below this, you write down the relationship between relationship between the drift velocity, relationship between the drift velocity, and the current. That is the heading you are given. Okay. Relationship between drift velocity and current. Okay. For this also, we'll draw the same diagram. This diagram only we'll draw and we'll mark this length as L. This length I'll take as L. Length of the conductor I'll take as L. And okay, this length I'll take as L over here, and this one area of cross section, right here, area, just like area of cross section equal to A. Just mention that. Area of cross section is equal to A. And length of the conductor is L. All right. Okay, ready? Now we'll write first. First write a switch current. What is the formula of current? Current I is equal to formula of current. We have Q upon T. No, current is equal to charges upon time. We know that charges flowing upon the time. But here, what does charge mean? Charge means electrons. Here, electrons are flowing. I mean, drifting like this way. Okay, Q is equal to, here we write any. Write any by T. Any upon time. What is N? N means number of electrons, and E means charge of one electron, charge of an electron. Okay. What I will do out here, I will divide by volume and multiply by volume here. Multiply by volume upon T and T capacities. Multiplying and dividing by volume. All right. Okay. N upon volume, number of electrons upon volume, we denote by small n, right? Small n, write E as it is, into volume of the conductor. Formula will be area of cross section into the length. What is the length of the conductor? L. I write it A L by T. You can mention here where n is equal to n upon volume. That means number of electrons per unit volume, Which part? This part or the before that? This one. Now what in any fraction can we divide and multiply with the same quantity? volume, you divide by volume, multiply by volume, because volume cancels. Understand? So I like n upon volume, n by volume as small n. And what is a small n known as? This small n is known as number of electrons per unit volume. Number of electrons per unit volume. So I write n as it is, E as it is, A as it is. Length upon time, that is distance upon the time. Distance upon the time within this the electrons are drifting or acquiring the drift velocity. Distance upon time is called drift velocity, Vd. So this becomes the formula. I is equal to NEA Vd, or we can write Vd is equal to I divided by NEA. This is the formula we wanted to, or this is the relationship we wanted to establish. So please copy here. L upon T becomes Vd, drift velocity. Constant velocity formula we have distance upon the time. What is the distance within this the electrons are drifting? The total distance is L upon time. Distance upon time becomes velocity here. Vd and I. So what is the formula of drift velocity in terms of current? Vd is equal to I by NEA, or I equal to NEA Vd. So question may come as it derive the equation I equal to NEA Vd, or Vd is equal to I NEA, or what do you mean by drift velocity of electron, and find the relationship of drift velocity with the current. Then we'll be doing from here. You will start, draw this diagram, and you complete till here. So what is the formula of current in terms of drift velocity, or drift velocity in terms of current? This is the formula I equal to NEA Vd, or Vd is equal to I upon NEA. Done? Yes, have you done it? Now little further continuation of the same. This one I continue slightly here. Write Vd as it is. You know, I upon A, I by A, current upon area. What is it? What is it called? I by A is called what? J. Current upon area is called J. We can add J by NE. This becomes also the formula. Vd is equal to J upon NE. Current density formula, J is equal to I upon NO. Current per unit area of cross section of the conductor, per unit area. I by A, we can add J also. So it becomes Vd is equal to J upon NE. Done? Or we can write this equation only, we can write as also J is equal to NEVD, like this. In vector form, we write as J equal to NEVD, like this. V velocity is vector, J also vector, but we have to put a minus sign because direction of J is the direction of current, and velocity of the electrons and current moves in the opposite direction. No, we always assume that the current is flowing opposite to the direction of flow of electrons. Electrons are drifting in this direction, whereas current is flowing like this. Opposite. That's why we put a minus sign. So in vector form, we write like this: J is equal to minus NEVD. NEVD. So you make an MCQ question: which of the following relation is true or is correct? They may give the options. Different options will be given, but you choose this option with the minus sign. J and VD will be having a minus sign in between them. Done. Okay. Now give next heading. Next heading you give now. Time of relaxation. Time of relaxation. Give the heading. Time of relaxation. Time of relaxation. Time of relaxation denoted by this sign tau. Time of relaxation denoted by the symbol tau, like this. Time of relaxation denoted by the symbol tau. This tau is also known as torque, but here in this case, it means time of relaxation. So please write down about this. That the time taken between the time taken between the time taken between any two successive time taken between any two successive collisions, collisions, collisions of free electrons with the ions of the conductor, is called time of relaxation. It's called time of relaxation. It's called the time of relaxation. Okay. Then the time taken between two successive collisions of free electrons with the positive ion or with the ions of the conductor, that also you can say with the ions of the conductor, is called time of relaxation. Okay. Now just below this, you give the heading relationship between drift velocity and time of relaxation. Relationship between the drift velocity and the time of relaxation. Okay. All right. You can write here, after giving this heading, you can write here, in the absence of electric field, we write like this: U1 plus U2 plus U3 plus U4 plus so on plus UN equal to 0, like this. That means when electric field is not applied, electrons are moving randomly in such a way that the total initial velocity of the entire electron is 0. This is called linear velocity, no? Electrons are not moving in the linear direction. They are not moving in the linear direction like this. They are all moving in the random directions, and their net velocity is becoming 0. So initial velocity of all the electrons, with nth electrons, all together n electrons, total velocity is 0. That means total value of all the initial velocity is 0. Understood? Yes. Now, after the electric field is applied, right here, after the electric field is applied, now they will pick up linear velocity. Suppose first electron is picking the linear velocity v1. You know the formula v is equal to u plus at, no? So I'll use that formula, right? V is equal to u1 plus a t means time, t1 I write here. Then write v2 is equal to u2 plus a t2. v3 will be equal to u3 plus a t3. Mark arrow here, mark arrow on acceleration, because acceleration is vector here, not the time. Like this. And I like Vn. Vn is equal to Un plus a all the acceleration will be same. So A into Tn, like this we write. Okay. All right. Now we'll be adding all of these. Right now, therefore, V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4 and so on plus Vn equal to, this side also I'm adding. So this side you will get like this, U1 plus U2 plus U3 plus so on plus Un plus A is common, right here A like this, T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus so on plus Tn. I write like this. This is becoming zero because we know already this one is equation number one. From equation number one, initial velocities of all the electrons is zero. This part is entirely zero. I write zero there. This is zero. Plus this side I write A, T1 plus T2 plus T3 and so on plus Tn. This side we are having V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus so on. You can just add up to V3 only plus Vn like this. What we'll do, we'll divide by n over here. N means the total number of electrons. Here also we'll divide by n. Both the side will divide by n. To find the mean value or the average value, mean of anything, how do we find? Add all of this, divide by n. So this thing is called average velocity of all the electrons. This average velocity of all the electrons in a linear direction like this, opposite of the speed, is called drift velocity. Here we write Vd. And here I'll be writing A. This is called average time of relaxation, right? T. Average time of relaxation. So this becomes the formula. Vd is equal to A into T. Right here, where T is called average time of relaxation. Average time of relaxation. Average time. This is average velocity, which we call drift velocity. This is average time, which we call average time of relaxation. So this is the relationship. Vd is equal to AT, or only magnitude wise we can write like this. A is equal to Vd by tau. We can just write this. Magnitude wise. A is equal to Vd by tau. This way we can write. Okay? Yes? Yeah, tell me anything which you have not understood. Huh? Average, no, what is called drift velocity? You have written the definition of the average constant velocity, no? The average. How do we find the average, a mean value? How do we find, that? No, suppose numbers are given to you like 2, 4, 5, 6. How to find average? You'll be adding, no, like 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. Divide by how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, divide by 4 or no? Yes or no? Same way, the first velocity is V1, second velocity is V2, V3, like there are n such velocities, n electrons are there. So divide by n. This will give average. Here also we divide by n, we will also give average. Understood? And the average velocity is only called drift velocity, of the electron. Okay, this is from the definition. All right. Okay. So today we are doing clear. Now little bit only theory is left over in this chapter, and we'll do some problems tomorrow, and then we start electric circuit now. Okay, next chapter will be electric circuit. Electric circuit is little lengthy, so there we will be doing the Kirchhoff laws and all will come under that. Okay, understood? Finding the current and all that will come there. Electric circuit. This electric current little bit is only left. Then we'll do that portion next day, and then we'll be doing some numericals. Okay, and then we'll be starting the chapter electric circuits. All right. So we do this much for the day then, huh? Okay. Okay. Bye.